Crossroads. What are the rules of crossroads? Who has priority on crossroads? What exactly are they? How do they operate? Well, in this video, we're going to show you what exactly you should be doing when you come across a crossroad. Welcome to FM Driving School, giving you online driving lessons, driving tips and driving advice from myself, a qualified driving instructor. Don't forget to like it, share it and subscribe. Let's go straight to the video. So firstly, what is a crossroad? To put it simply, it's just two roads that intersect. So you have two roads that cross each other's path. Or imagine a T-junction and another road in front of it. Now there's different types of crossroads. You might have a staggered crossroad, so it's slightly tilted, making it a bit more difficult to understand the priorities in those situations. You may have a crossroad with give way signs on either side of it. You may have a crossroad controlled by traffic lights. So those are the crossroads. We'll go through quite a few of them. Now let's go on to the rules of the crossroads and priorities of crossroads. Let's start with the basic crossroad, where you have two roads crossing each other's path. You'll have a major road in the middle and minor roads on either side of it. Let's look at it from the major road point of view. To put it simply, if you're on the major road and you see giveaway lines on the left and right of you, so the crossroads of the left and right of you, you have priority over them as you're on the main road. That's your first rule you need to understand. If you see giveaway lines on the left and right of you and you're on the main road, it's you who has priority. Now what happens if you have two cars on the main road and one wants to turn right? Let me give you the main rule of crossroads, or the general rule is, if someone's turning right, they have to be the one that gives way. That's a general rule that we want to apply. It doesn't mean it's always going to work out, nor does it mean that other drivers are going to follow the rules. But let's just give you an example here. The red car is turning right into this minor road. The grey car is going straight ahead. So who has priority? Who's the one who's turning right? The red car. Therefore, they have to be the one that waits. The grey car would go through. Then once he's gone through, the red car can turn in towards the road. What do you do if both of the cars want to turn right? In this situation, no one has priority. But there's a few things you can do in order to make the drive progressive. Firstly, anticipate the driver, look at their face, get some eye contact. If they're ahead of you, they may most likely turn into the road. It doesn't mean they're going to. Remember, in driving, not everybody follows the rules, not everybody is seeing what you're seeing, so therefore anticipate the driver, be cautious. They may even decide to wait and let you pass. Another thing a driver may do is flash their headlights at you, which doesn't necessarily mean they're giving you way, but in this situation, look around you. If it's just for you, it's possible they're giving you way. Anyway, that's one of those hidden rules us drivers know about, getting the eye contacts, just anticipating the move. But in terms of the rules now, let's go through the rules. If there's two of you, you can either do near side turning in, or you can do offside to offside turning in. Near side to near side is when you're slightly in front of each other. That way, the advantage is people behind you can drive through. There may be a gap for them to drive through. The disadvantage is your vision is now restricted. What if there was like a cyclist on the other side behind the car and you were unable to see it due to the car restricting that view? So that's a disadvantage. Offside to offside is when you're opposite each other. So like in this example, in this diagram, on the right, the disadvantage is there might be cars behind you where you block the whole road off. They can't squeeze through. The advantage is you can see exactly who's in front of you, so now the red car isn't restricting your view. I hope that was understandable. Let's now go back to the giveaway part and explain what to do when you're on the giveaway side of the road. So now you're here at the giveaway sign at the front. It goes without saying the main road, the major road, has a priority. We have to wait for them. Now, understand one thing, when you're on the giveaway sign, you don't do near side to near side and offside to offside. You don't block the road off for the main road. It's only them that can do it. Obviously, if there's no cars coming, and we'll give you an example later on where you can kind of do near side to near side as you're driving off. We'll explain that in a little bit. Okay, so imagine the main road is clear, we're the red car and we've got a car in front of us, this yellow car. Let's keep it simple. If you're turning left or you're going straight, it's our priority over the yellow car for now. If you're turning right and the yellow car is going straight, it's us, the one turning right has to be the one that gives way. We have to be the one that waits. Now let's go to the tricky part, what if both of you are turning right? So in this situation, nobody has priority. And again, what do? You get some eye contact first, see who was there first. If they decide to wait and let you go, then go by all means. If they're pushing in and they're edging out, then you know they're going to be the one to go ahead of you. Also, not that it's always going to happen, but if there's like a queue of you turning right, so say you're the red car, the yellow car. So once the yellow car goes, generally be your turn next, and the car behind the yellow car would then turn afterwards. Just have politeness, one after the other. It doesn't mean it's always going to happen, but also bear that in mind. You can see why you don't do near side or offside to offside in this situation, because if you were to do that and you're waiting in the middle of the main road now and a car was to appear from the left or right, then you've taken over their right, you've taken over their priority. Going back to why I said you might be able to do near side is because imagine the main road's completely clear. So now you're just watching out for the yellow car and maybe the cars behind him. So as you're turning right, the yellow car's also turning right, slightly near side. Obviously, scanning behind the yellow car, making sure no one comes out. You're not really waiting in the middle of the road because the cars behind now should wait for you since you're already in the middle going through. If you're still watching this video, well done, congratulations to get this far, because I know it's difficult to understand all this if you're not driving, and even if you are driving, you have to practically experience all this in order to understand. There are different types of crossroads, don't forget, but we're going to go through them another time. Let's now go through some practical examples. Coming up to a crossroad where we can't see who's on our left or right, going straight. Clutch goes down. I'm going to gear 1 here just because I can't see at all. I'm going to peep and creep using brake or clutch or gas to edge out. It looks clear. Yep, let's go. Back to gear 2. As you get closer, crossroad up ahead. Quite tricky here. We'll check our mirrors, interior right, indicate, brake, clutch goes down, go down to gear 2. We're going to go to the center of the road. You're allowed to go to the center. Lights change, but we made it. When the center is clear to go, we're going to go. This crossroad, I just want to show you that it's controlled by traffic lights. And also, it's got road markers on the floor. Let me just pause it once we get through to the center. You can see by the road markers on the floor, you're doing near side to near side. Which is good for us because you don't have to make the decision no more. You don't have to decide what should I do. Should I do offside to offside or near side to near side? The arrows is helping you out. But obviously, if there was a car now in front, you won't be able to see the obstructions behind the car. So if there was a cyclist trying to squeeze in a bike or another car trying to get through, so make sure as you turn in, you're looking thoroughly behind the car, as near side to near side will restrict your vision. Checking my right thoroughly and pushing. If you look ahead, it's a crossroad. There's enough room for one more car, and we're the last car, which is a bit more dangerous because we have to go in if you're in. Keep looking, edge out, lean forward, edge out, keep looking, go to gear 2, it's clear, and I'm going to go all the way to the left lane straight away. Another example of a crossroad where this one is a lot more difficult. You're actually going onto a dual carriageway. So if you look here, we're just following the cars in front. They're doing near side to near side. We don't have to make any decisions in terms of offside to offside or near side to near side. But as you get there, look, you can't see thoroughly behind. We're edging out gently, making sure ahead is clear. Indicate right, green light. The cars in front are not moving. That means they got a red light at this crossroad. Get yourself into the box. It's clear to go. Look into the road. Get yourself in, check your mirrors. Again here, another crossroad, again controlled by traffic lights, but this time we noticed the cars in front were not moving. Therefore it's a filtered traffic lights, meaning they're gonna have red lights and we're green. Here's one more crossroad. Imagine you're turning right. Again, if you look here, the arrow's telling you to do near side to near side. And if you look thoroughly, you can see another car behind this Nissan, this grey car in front, and he may be going straight, so you'd have to wait in the middle of the road. And you can see why you can't just turn in. You have to be cautious. You have to watch out for cars behind. Okay, Move to the center of the road. Look into the road. Okay, so we're at the center now, looking ahead, edging out, tilting your head. There's a little bit of a gap. Check my mirrors, I'm gonna go. Here's another great example of a crossroad where you don't have road markers on the floor. So what do? If you look at the car in front, they've made the decision. They've edged out slowly, forcing you to do near side to near side. And as always, the disadvantage is you can't see the cars behind, so you have to edge out gently, making sure it's clear to go. Indicate left about now. Great, look how sharp that road is. I'm going to go to gear 1. From 3 you can go to gear 1. It's really narrow, really sharp here. This Audi's trying to come in as well. There's a cyclist. Hog your lane, there's a car. Is he going to wait? On this crossroad, we're on the main road. There's give way signs on both sides, and in fact it's a staggered junction. So this Audi here is pulled out into the middle of the road. We're turning left, we're on the main road. The road is staggered, so it's possible that Audi pulled in to the main road in order to get into a good position. They may even decide to go straight through, cut in front of you and take over your priority. But in this case, they pull into the middle, decided to wait and let you through. As a driver, just be cautious, watch out for it, look at the speed, look at the positioning, and don't assume that everybody's going to comply with the rules. There's so many types of crossroads, so many examples of crossroads, and I can go on and on and on. But there's one question you're probably asking, which is, when do you do offside to offside or near side to near side? When do you decide to do that? And it's a very good question to ask. So as a learner, if you notice in our clips, the first thing is look at the road markings on the floor. If it's giving you arrows and signs telling you to do near side to near side or offside to offside, your life is easy. Just follow the road markings. Number 2, the cars in front, see what they're doing. So in one of our clips we had 2 cars in front doing near side to near side at the big dual carriageway. Just follow them. Why do you have to change it up? So see what the cars in front are doing. Number 3, look at the car opposite you. So we had in one situation where the car in front opposite you was coming and he came quite slowly, so they were deciding to do near side to near side. So let them make the decision. And finally, number 4, you make the decision. Be decisive. If you feel like you want to do offside to offside or near side to near side, make the decision, make the call and stick by it. Anyway, that's Crossroad in a slightly in-depth yet short version of me explaining it. There's loads more to Crossroads, and once you start driving and experiencing it, you'll realize actually what we say may not apply to you in that particular situation. You have to go out with your driving instructor or even yourself, go out, start driving, and you'll notice everything's slightly a bit more different than how we explain it, because as I said, people don't always comply with the rules. Possibly the lights or the road, the way it's laid out may not work out for you to apply certain rules. I hope that was helpful and useful for you. And if you haven't started driving, at least it will give you some idea of what a crossroad is. Don't forget to like it, share it and subscribe. Thank you for watching and paying attention. Good luck with your driving.